Hey guys, so this week we're going to talk about Jesus rising from the dead. So last week we talked about how Jesus was crucified, and after he was crucified, he was put into a tomb. So we're going to read about a Bible story in Matthew 28. So Jesus was in the tomb after he was taken down from the cross, and a tomb is just a rock structure that has a little entrance, and he was just inside that tomb there. A few days after Jesus had been placed in the tomb, Mary Magdalene and another woman named Mary went to go look at the tomb. And they were a little sad as they were going to visit the tomb because they were going to see one of their friends. And it's sad when you go visit one of your friends that has passed away. But before they got to the tomb, there was this really big earthquake. And the ground was shaking, and they were losing their balance, so they held on to each other so they wouldn't fall. And then when they got to the tomb, there was an angel of the Lord that came down and rolled the stone away from the entrance. And the angel sat there, and there was this bright light coming from the angel. And I bet that Mary Magdalene and Mary were a little frightened at the angel just sitting there. And even the soldiers guarding the tomb were terrified with the angel being there. They became like dead men. They just froze. They didn't know what was happening. And the angel said to the two women, "Don't be afraid. I know you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He isn't here. He is risen from the dead just as he said he would. And now, go quickly and tell his disciples that he has risen from the dead." So Mary Magdalene and Mary were going to the tomb expecting to see somebody inside the tomb. And instead, the tomb was empty. Jesus wasn't there anymore. He had risen from the dead. And I think that that's pretty cool, that Jesus dies for our sins and then comes back to life so that he can still be there to help us. So yeah, that's our Bible story for today. I have a little craft for you guys. And I'm going to go get the supplies for that, and then I'll be back. Alright, so you're going to need this piece of paper, print it out, or you can draw your own tomb. This paper is attached in the activities document. And you're going to need some crayons and some scissors and another piece of paper. And if you print this out on sturdier paper, it'll work better. So what you're going to do first is color this. So I'm going to explain this. This corner, this is the sun up here. There's some bushes down here, and then this big oval thing here is the tomb. This circle here is the entrance to the tomb. So this is what it looks like when the stone's been rolled away. So this little circle here is the inside of the tomb, and you can just disregard this line for a minute while you color. Alright, so here is my colored picture. I left this inside smaller circle here blank because remember in the story, after the stone was rolled away, the inside of the tomb was empty. So the next thing that you're going to do is you're going to have to fold this a little bit. Don't fold it too hard, there'll be a little crease in your paper, but just fold it a little bit. And then you are going to cut on this black line here. So you're going to cut on that line. And then once you have the slit in your paper there all done, ask your parents for help. I struggled even a little bit cutting this. So once you have that line there cut, you are going to take a black piece of paper, a gray piece of paper, a paper you colored, anything like that. That's going to be the stone that was in front of the tomb. And you're going to cut out a circle about the size of this circle in here. And I'm going to cut that out and then tell you what to do next. Alright, so then you have your circle here with the other piece of paper, and then you are going to cut a little rectangle piece out of it. It doesn't have to be super long, about this long is good. And then what you're going to do is fold down a little end of it. So you have a little, fold down a little bit there. And then what you're going to do is glue the little piece that you folded down to the center of the circle here. So I'm going to do that, and you can do that, and then I'll let you know what to do next. Alright, so now that you have it with a little part sticking out, you are going to stick this through the little hole in your paper, and this is like the stone over top of the tomb. So here's the stone, and then when the angel came, the stone was rolled away, and you could see the inside of the tomb. And see, there's nothing in there. Jesus was in there, but it's empty now because he rose from the dead. So, I have one more thing that we're going to do, and you can do it at home too. We're going to make little resurrection tomb food things. So, if you're going to do this at home, you need some melted butter, some cinnamon, some sugar, some marshmallows, and you're going to need some crescent roll dough or biscuit dough. So I'm going to get those things, and I will be back, and I'll show you guys how it works. Okay, so to make the resurrection tombs, you're going to need 8 marshmallows, a thing of crescent rolls or biscuit dough, some cinnamon and sugar mixed together, some melted butter, I'm not going to tilt that any further, and a muffin pan sprayed with cooking spray. So the first thing that you're going to do is get all the crescent roll dough out. My mom had to help me. So you're going to take it all out and separate it into the different triangles. So I'm just going to start with the four triangles. And you're going to take marshmallow and you're going to put it in the butter, and then you're going to put it in the cinnamon and sugar, and then you're going to put it on one of the biscuit triangles. Whoops. And then you're going to wrap it all up and make sure that it's all sealed. Depending how big your triangles are, you might have to stretch it a little bit, but you're going to get it all nice and sealed. And then you are going to take the top, whatever you decide the top of this is going to be, you're going to dip it in the butter and then in the cinnamon and sugar again, and then put it in one of the muffin tins. And you're going to do this with all 8 of the marshmallows, and so I'm going to do that, and then I'll let you know what to do next. So just like Jesus' body was sealed and put away in the tomb, the marshmallows here are all sealed in little crescent roll dough, and so the next thing to do is put it in the oven for 13 to 15 minutes. Your oven needs to be at 375 degrees. So my oven just beeped and said it was ready, so I'm going to put them in the oven. And then when they come out, I'll let you know what they look like. Okay, so they came out of the oven, and this is what they look like. And so I'm going to cut into it. And it's empty. There's no marshmallow left in there. Just like when the stone was rolled away from the tomb, Jesus was no longer in the tomb. So now you can eat these. They're really good, so enjoy them. And I'll see y'all next week.